I just think that if you have the baby here, like water breaks right now, we stay here. Let me handle the procedure.
Not happening. You're not good with blood and all of that, so that's not happening. You'll be passed out on the floor, and I'll be delivering the baby myself.
As soon as it's game time.
Cutting the cord myself.
How to deliver a baby. That's what I gotta do. Boom. Right there. I got YouTube videos how to do it.
And then it's gonna come out looking like this.
I'll pass it out.
Look, it's gonna come out looking like that. You're gonna be like,
It's like
see, look, you're already getting nauseous thinking about it.
Second a bunch of blood comes out, bro.
Let me hold you up. Don't fall over on me.
I just think that
you ain't getting workers' comp on me, bud.
I'm giving out. Any questions, guys? Happy to help.
Yeah, just looking at her right now.
All right, man. When she goes into labor, we're gonna need some help. We're doing it here.
We're not doing it.
So anyway, had a message come in from the last video, and the guy was really nice. He actually messaged me personally on Facebook and was like, hey, I'm in another country, and I'm not by any means any competition to you, but any input you could give on how to buy, how much to buy for, things like that. So we get those questions quite a bit, and again, it's going to be just like when you hear the word scalping, it's got a really, really ugly, I guess, thing around, like aroma around the word scalper. But anyone that buys something and sells something for a profit is scalping the thing, right? So that's the idea. So I've never gotten upset. Like if I say, for example, say I'm at Walmart and some guy's got a cart loaded with every new toy in it, I could care less. I'll go to the next Walmart. I guess I just don't. For me, like my hustle has never been what's available today, and it obviously is working for some people, because some people, like the one guy shop in Delaware, he completely focuses on all new stuff. Like that's his bread and butter. So that's just not where margins aren't high enough for me. Like if I'm buying an item for like through a wholesaler, like let's say a Monster High Dial, right? I'm gonna pay $17 for it, but then MSRP is $19 and some change. After I paid to have it shipped to me, and then after I paid you to price them, I'm already negative. So then you got to go a little bit higher than what they're even asking MSRP to be. So that's where it gets tricky with the pricing going to the business. And then be prepared. The second that, like, okay, here you go. You have a leather head sitting here, right? It's going to go on our website. We have $45 on it. Now, they've been here for a month. They're no longer new. They're going to get bumped down, etc. But what I'm saying is, you can definitely get this cheaper, 100%, at Walmart or Target, wherever it is that you get them at, 100%. But you've got to be willing to factor in your own time and your own money, right? Like I see people, but man, I've been to 5 of my local Walmarts, and I keep going, and I haven't found it yet. I don't know about you, man, but you should have just probably paid the $20 over, and you already had it, and you didn't drive anywhere. So
now you use probably what, $40 in gas?
That's what I'm saying. So like
now you're out of the figure.
You're not doing that. Like honestly, we don't have to do that. Like I have people, like the one time that guy brought that collection, it was all modern. I mean, I literally looked at him, and Nikki's looking at it, and she's like, "You just being fair, take it back to Walmart. You don't even have to have a receipt. Just take it back to Walmart. You're gonna get way more money than I'm gonna offer you, and then worst gonna worst, you get a gift card or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So that's when it comes to new stuff. It's definitely tricky. It's definitely an ugly market. Be prepared, because you're going to get ugly reviews that come with it. Like, oh, they had that for price for way, way, way too much. Well, guess what? There's also such thing as a good customer, a cheap customer, and a fair customer. Some people just want to complain. What do you mean I can't get it for what this company has it for? You don't price match this. And just be ready for the negativity, because it'll come with everything positive, comes negative as well. Now we get into the realm of older toys. This is the specialty. This is the fun. Be prepared to say no. Nope. I'll pass. Now be respectful. I'm a big one for have a blessed day. And when you're rude to me, and that's a polite way of saying go F yourself. You know what I mean? But when And I already know. We just had it yesterday with the guy with the glasses. We're busy as crap. We're getting everything moved around. We got the guy finishing up our lights. Guy comes over and he's like, has me for about 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at every item, right? Taking them all out of glass cabinets the whole way down. Just, I have this, have this, have this, have this one. This. So I'm like, okay, we're about to have a good sale. Now, we're all done. About 30 minutes later, he goes, okay, so these are all the things I believe I have right now. What would you give me for them? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, no. So I wanted to see like what you had on all of it. So I was kind of wondering like what you would give. So like on the one glass, you have 18. Would you do like 15? You're 16? Like, what do you give on that? Oh, man, angry isn't the word. Like, one, you wasted my time. And like, the whole thing was like, I would just pass. Like, well, why? I was like, clearly I have it all here now. I don't need another one. Right? Like, you have to know when to say no to stuff. And you need to be able to prepare and budget because next month's sales might be worse and you might have like a stream of bad months. So just because you had a really good weekend doesn't mean you should take your whole load and go blow it on something else and not prepare for like maybe Four Horsemen's gonna have a new figure drop, or maybe Savage Crucial's gonna have a new, you know what I mean? Like being prepared. Like she's pretty incredible at keeping me like at check because show season, it's like we're at a show every single week, and every single week it's like, all right, what's my budget? You have $10,000, Allan. Not 10,001, not 10,002. You have 10 grand. That's what you could spend at the next 3 shows. Show number 1, I'm 10,001 in. I'm already past where we said. The next 2 shows, I don't care how great this deal is, how good this deal is. We can't buy because we picked the budget. And next month, start it again. Here's your $10,000 cap. Da-da-da. Now, I'm not saying 10 grand is what our cap is or isn't, but it's just a reference. You've got to be able to give yourself in this business of toys and be prepared. There's going to be a lot of stuff that comes your way, and you just can't afford to buy it. You just can't afford to buy it. Like, and that happens all the time.
That's what I've had to tell him too. Is you can't buy everything that comes your way because then when that one collection you're like, this is a really great collection, well, you can't buy now because you bought the other 5.
Yeah. I don't know why I can't have all 6.
You've done that before, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like if he doesn't buy all 5, you never know when the next one's gonna come.
Yeah, because we've had dry spells.
We've had that too.
2-3 months where like we're not getting anything good. It's just pass, and then boom, 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 boom. Like when we got that big collection up there, I was like, oh man, like $50,000 collection, like holy crap. And then here's another good one. Here's another good one. I'm like, oh crap. You know what I mean? Like
strapped ourselves.
So you got to be ready for that. And then guess what, man? I find no reason at all why shops are telling other people what they're buying and not buying for, man, because what you find is okay to spend money on or how much is fair is different to you and me. For example, I'm having a yard sale. You come to my house. I've got this tractor sitting in the yard, and you say, I'll give you $200 for it. Yep, I'm in. Now, they have no idea that I've actually got that tractor for free. Someone gave it to me. So that's a net 200. That's all positive. It's all mine, right? Now, someone else might watch that video and say, oh, well, that's not very fair. He ripped them off. He didn't even check, see if it ran. The blades are bad. Like, you're going to, no matter which direction you went in, wait a minute. The guy offered me the 2. I just said yes, and I'm the bad guy? Well, you know it doesn't run. There's different things, right? So you just have to be mentally ready for that. Like, I don't care what anyone's opinion is. My job is to make the most profit possible. Do I have the highest prices? No. Do I have the cheapest prices? No. There you go. And if you're a vendor at shows and that's your only thing where you sell, your overhead is next to nothing. Next to nothing. You better have the best prices in the whole planet compared to workman's comp, employees, all the taxes. Like,
I was just going over yesterday with Megan about all the taxes we pay monthly. She's like, what? I was like, yeah,
like it was. And many times I'll look at the account. I'm like, what was that? What did you buy? Like, what collection did I make? She's like, oh, that's not a collection. That's this tax, and that's this tax, and that's this tax. And I'm like, man, we're averaging right around 20 grand a month between the taxes and the things that need to be covered before we even run business. That's great. And I'm small. Yeah. I don't have 200 employees. So I think all of that is thrown out the door when someone comes in and they're like, That's not $500. I would never pay that. But then don't. Not everyone is designed to have a Lamborghini. Not everyone's designed to drive a brand new Honda Civic. Some people got to take the bus. That's the facts. And we're in this society now where that's offensive. That's offensive.
It is.
I had the biggest piece of first car. Remember I told you I would have to
Hey, but you still had a car to get you from point A to point B.
No
matter if it was not running or not.
I worked at 14 years old. I remember hooking my last class. I remember just trying to get out because I was in my senior year. I was in 8, right? So I would get out early, and I had this '84 Bronco 2, and I'd be, please start pumping the gas, trying to get this. If that thing would not start, I would act like I'm just hanging out while everybody left. And then I'll call my dad and figure out what I need to do to get it running, right? So it's steps. You don't just jump and have the best stuff. So
yes, I agree with that. Yes.
So when I see people, when I have people come in and they'll like complain, like, "Oh man, well, you're asking way too much for that. What's his name has it for this?"
Then we usually say we'll go.
You should go buy it from what's his name. But don't come back. Like, don't come back and be like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get it now," because that's where, like, I guess...
Because then something might have been wrong with that one that you didn't know about, or...
I just get angry about that stuff. You see, I have to walk away sometimes, like... Because some people just get really, really rude about it.
They do.
But then, the second that I'm rude back, it's like, oh, man, that's not very professional-like at all.
What? Because people feel like they can say and they can do whatever they want. It is 2025. They think they can do that.
I can respond any way I want.
No.
You know?
You usually just say, okay, have a great day.
Yeah.
And then you go on with yourself because then they can't say, oh, well, he wasn't professional.
But I'm not professional. That's why I pay you guys to be.
98.7% of the time you are.
Well, I'm not gonna go out of my way.
Or 1.3% that you're like, no. Not happening.
But I'm never going to go out of my way and be rude. But, like,
no, you will not.
have, like, for example, on the books, in the world of Eternity of Dreams, Allan Wayne Smart Jr. owns 0. I own nothing. And some people don't know that.
Yeah, they don't.
This is an entity. She owns this whole brand. So when people are like, bro, like, you're in check, or you're being rude or being disrespectful, I will snap at you in a heartbeat, because are you going to sue a guy that has no job? I don't have anything. You know what I mean? Like, those are the. But man, like, and just be prepared, I guess, in the world of business, to be poked, because you're going to get people that just want to, like, steam you up and get you hot and bothered. Like, nowadays, like, we just...
And that, too. That's what you have to understand. People try to do that because they know your reaction's going to come, and it's going to be what they were hoping for.
Yeah, so anger management was good for me.
Yeah, sometimes you play into it, but then you're like, oh, no, not playing into the situation.
Like, some of the Google reviews, we laugh. Like, we literally laugh. Like...
I usually just reply, thank you for the review.
Yeah. Yeah, I struggle with it. Yeah. Yeah. No. Or, like, remember the one time the guy, like...
But then you have to reply to the good reviews, too.
So, we weren't here, right? We could see it on the camera. Heather calls, and she's a little upset. So...
She's kind of just giving us, like, a heads up, like, hey, you might get a Google review on me.
So, there's multiple signs, like, no returns, whatever it is, right?
We have 2. One right here, one above the Toys R Us truck.
I'm just going to... Hang on a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where I would check you out, right? So this is where I hand you your bag.
Oh, from right here?
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
And this would be... Is this the register over here? Like, this is where you do the addition and subtraction and whatnot.
So look, when I print your receipt out...
So now it says it on the receipt.
Well, we've had people bring the receipt in with this on it. Can't return. Can't make it up. So anyway...
And there's a reason why we don't do returns.
Yeah. How many times have you been to Walmart and you've seen a figure swapped out? Just saying. So it's just too much. Like, I'll do everything I can to make it right if you messed up. Or, like, if you're a regular, like, dude, I already had this one, or the wife got it for Christmas. I'll do things. I'll work around my rules, right? I'll bend my own rules, but don't expect me to change my rules for you. Like, that's not fair. So Heather calls us like, hey, you're going to get probably a call or a really bad review. Guy brought, it was a $13 Funko Pop in. want to return it, right?
Already had it.
Right? He already had it. So she's like, sorry, sir, we don't do any return. And we get the camera's right there, right? So we can hear everything. The audio's good. We can hear it all. And he's like, what do you mean you're not going to do a return? She's like, no, I'm sorry, sir, we don't do that. Like, like, she was really keeping the conversation down. Like, she did a great job. The guy was like, take it then. Walks out and knocks my clothing rack over. Leaves, right? So not only did he throw the Funko Pop at Heather, if you guys don't know Heather, that's Country's wife. She's a bad woman. And between her and her daughter, they probably got 6 knives on them, two guns. Like, they're like, I'm not ever messing with Heather. Like, go from sweetheart to I will crush you in a minute, right? Yep. She stayed so true. Like, legit, this is my business.
And we had to tell her, we will never be upset at you if you get a bad review.
If you'd have punched that dude in the face, I would have never been mad. Like, I'd have bailed you out. Like, we would handle this, right?
We will never be mad at you.
So while she's telling us what just went down, my phone rings.
This is when he still had the shop phone.
Right? Hello, is that with Eternity Dreams? Yes, sir. Hi. I was just in your store and I spoke with the lady and she's telling me that we can't do a return. So, and I understand that. Like, that's your rule and stuff, sir. Like, I completely get that. But I've already got this pop. So if there's any way, like,
we're good. Thank you.
If you could just bend the rule a little bit and just, let me exchange a pop, I'd greatly appreciate it. How you doing, man? So you don't happen to be the guy that just left and was upset with our employee, would you? Yeah, I kind of, went a little overdid it there. Let me tell you something, bud. You ever throw a pop at her again or any item at one of my employees again, we're going to go the legal route. Now, you have 2 options. You take your back into the mall and pick up my clothing rack and you apologize to her, or I will put your face on every social media outlet for the next year about how you treated a woman and how you treated someone else's things because you didn't get your way. So would I exchange your pop? Never in a million years. You're the epitome of a bad man. Like, I went hard on this dude, right? He must have apologized, tried to apologize 10 times. I think he did come in and apologize. I think so. I still don't let him do the exchange. He didn't earn any way, but it was just going to show you, like, set a guide, a rule, like what you're willing to let slide and what not slide. Like, you're not going to be disrespectful to any of the ladies that work here or any of the men that work here. Like, I just didn't find that. I understand in this realm of toys, we haggle. That's the game. You go to a show, you haggle. You're at a flea market, you're haggling. There's a time and a place to haggle. That's just the truth. You don't go to Dick's Sporting Goods. You don't go to MCE Designs. You don't go to the sewing shop. You don't go to Boscov's. You don't go to a brick and mortar and just assume that they want to haggle their prices. And the second you don't, they give you so much. And I catch me at a show, catch me at a live sale, catch me at any other platform where that's normal. I'm all about it. Let's haggle our butts off. But in the store, man, unless I'm running an event or a sale, I don't do it. And, like, man, I get a lot of crap for that. I guess I'm the only shop that doesn't do it. No one else is doing it. Dick's Sporting Goods, and no offense, I probably buy a new pair of Brooks every 2 months. In football season, I buy a new jersey quite a bit. They've never been like, hey, man, you always buy a jersey from us. This one's on us. Let's take 10 off for you. It's not a thing.
But it should not be a common practice.
Yeah, it should not be. It's hurting the industry.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not, everything is priced. I don't have anything. I'm not one of those shops where I got to go bring it up to me and I look on eBay what it's going for, then I tell you what it is.
When we do our sales, we really try to encourage people to come and participate in those sales.
Yeah.
And we want them to feel like they're getting a deal then.
Well, prime example, Brian just did a live sale on classics. And him and I got a big lot in, so he was going to do a live sale, and then we would add all the new stuff as we're going. As we're going through and pricing, I'm like, oh my God, like, we were way high on Motu Classics. Our stuff was too high. It was overpriced. And that's because it's like a stock market. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. So we lowered all of them, not including the ones including the ones we just got, plus the ones we already had. And then in the live, he was very friendly. He's like, hey, man, we're at this time, we're not haggling in this live. Because if you look them up on eBay right now or another platform, this is actually less than what they're going for. So just keep in mind, man, if you're small, which I enjoy being small, I will say this right now live. I love the idea of being a smaller shop. I had no intention on ever being this big, and we are in the process of getting a big building done to turn a lot of it for online, website, things like that, and going to a smaller brick and mortar store, because I can no longer give this store what I call the Eternity of Dreams touch. Like, if I look at this figure, I used to be able to tell you exactly what it cost, when I got it, where it came from. Now there's too much. There's stuff in the store I've never touched.
I had a lady ask me, she came in yesterday, she said, hey, on her phone, do you know how much this pop is back there? I said, well, I can get back and check. No, I just want you to tell me on top of your head. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. There's too many items in the store to know.
They look at you like, why don't you know what that is?
You want to ask me about the Cloud City, I could tell you.
Yeah, like, unless it's like a random thing, like, it's just very, very, very difficult. So,
when we had the Giants, I could tell you. Yeah. But little things like, I don't know how much that DS game is without looking at it. It's a really good
well, kind of like the one guy was like, so are you guys going to liquidate Gettysburg? No, our inventory doesn't sour. Like, you don't have to do that, man. If you don't have a place to store it, you might have to do something, but we got storage. You know? The best, hottest resellable item for us, because again, I don't have any problem sharing information, is Mythic Legions and Lego. That's where my margins are the best. But finding Lego complete, not so much. So pretty much, like, as the business realm, I hope that answered a lot of your guys' questions. If there's any other questions you want to know, or just, I'm an open book, man. I'm always going to be upfront. I know that my policies and my ideas aren't always going to match up to what might work for you. And if you do something different, drop a comment, man. Let us know. Feedback, anyone that doesn't take in new and learn new things, you're never going to grow. Thank you, guys. Nikki, you're fired.
Okay. Again, I got the business card.
Your water broke. Let's go. Give me some gloves.